There is no easy way to say this, but your fat loss goals should not just come around once a year when summer starts. It should be a all-around holistic approach to fat loss rather than just doing it by season, depending on if you're wearing a bikini or not. In this video, I'm going to go over the most crucial steps to take in order to lose fat and keep it off all year round so you're not chasing your tail when summer comes around trying to lose the body fat. I'm gonna go everything from metabolism, how that works, what's keeping you, what happens to your body on extreme diets, and some actionable steps and takeaways to take with you in order to achieve your goals, because I don't want to hold you back. I don't want to be this fitness influencer person, this fitness coach who tells you to do all the wrong things just so you come crawling back. I think a lot of us can excuse a broken metabolism to our hormones being disrupted and all of this jazz when really we aren't in a calorie deficit. So I'm not speaking to the people who are restricting all week and then going way over and binging on the weekends. I think a lot of us can excuse our lack of progress on a broken metabolism when it's the crash diets, all of the binging and restricting that's actually gotten us to this place of a slower metabolism. That's actually the problem. Because what happens when we yo-yo diet and weight cycle and do all of these crash diets, our metabolism adapts to it. It's called metabolic adaptation. And what happens is your body lowers the amount of calories that it needs to sustain itself in order to maintain homeostasis. From a biological standpoint, it actually really makes sense. So our bodies are not different at all from when we were cavemans back in the day. And a diet back then was called a famine. And coming out of a famished state, we typically binged or got as much food as possible in. And that was just from a survival standpoint. Our body needed food and we just overdid it on that food because we knew it wasn't going to come very soon afterwards. Now that we live in an abundant community and an abundant world of food and all this processed food that actually tastes really good and plays to our primal instincts, it's really hard to diet and restrict so much that. And the problem isn't that you lack willpower, it's the fact that you are not setting yourself up for success, because our willpower starts at the top in the morning and just slowly gets diminished throughout the day. So the key is to make your day as easy as possible for you rather than trying to avoid temptations all throughout the day. And then by the end of the day, you are absolutely pooped, you have no willpower left, and the Oreos are screaming your name in the cupboard. So the first step that I take with my clients, and it might seem counterintuitive to a lot of you, but remember that what you're doing currently is not working, so have an open mind. The first thing I do is called a reverse diet, and it's exactly how it sounds. It is just slowly increasing the calories that my clients eat slowly each week in order to boost their metabolism, adapt their metabolism to a higher amount of calories, so your body upregulates its systems, your period comes back, your digestion increases, your hair doesn't fall out in clumps, and your body just feels a lot better. And then it becomes easier for your body to let go of excess fat. So if your body is not in a prime state and you have not earned the right to cut or diet, you will not respond very well, and you're going to end up in this hamster wheel of continuously being in a deficit, which we don't want. Our bodies don't want to be in a deficit constantly. The next thing we want to look at is protein intake. So protein has the highest thermic effect of food. And what that means is it takes the most amount of calories to digest it. It also aids in satiety, so it will keep you satiated for longer. And that is very beneficial when you are on a fat loss journey, because it's inevitable. You will likely get hungry. For myself and my clients, I usually recommend 1 gram per pound of body weight. However, if you're just starting out, I would aim for about 100 grams or more of protein per day, and that will set you up pretty well. Now that we have our nutrition taken care of, the third part of this is exercise, obviously. Now, you might be on the treadmill for days on end and wondering why you are not losing any weight. And that is because you're not strength training. You are still leaving the weight room to the men when you shouldn't. Ladies, you're not going to get bulky. You do not have enough testosterone to do that. What strength training is going to do, and yes, I mean lifting heavy freaking weight, heavier than your 8-pound dumbbells, what that's going to do is shape your body and build muscle mass. Muscle mass is more metabolically demanding than fat mass, meaning you're going to burn more calories at rest than someone without that muscle mass. That makes fat loss so much easier. And moving away from the aesthetic part of strength training, it also sets you up for a really healthy life, and it sets you up for longevity, because as females, we naturally will lose bone density later on in life, and the more muscle you have, the stronger your bones will be, less likely to have osteoporosis. So that's just from a health standpoint. Fourth, I think we're on our fourth, is sleep. You've heard this before, I know you have, but I wanted to explain a little bit why sleep is so important for fat loss. One, your body recovers, your muscles recover, and your cells recover through sleep. And that is so, so important for your metabolism, for overall recovery and muscle growth. And the other part of that is when we are sleep deprived and chronically sleep deprived, our ghrelin levels are increased. Ghrelin is our hunger hormone, so you feel hungrier. And when you're hungry, it's harder to fend off those cravings and those yummy foods and thinking about the Oreos late at night. Fifth is water intake. When you are thirsty, sometimes that can present itself as hunger and a grumbly stomach. So maybe you just need some water. I've got some links to some hydration and some of the best electrolytes that I drink personally down below. So if you're interested in leveling up your hydration, check out those links. And the sixth and final part of the puzzle, that is arguably the most important, is your mindset. If you are not healthy mindset-wise and you are viewing food as a coping mechanism, you are not going to get to your goals very easily. And if you have a habit of eating your feelings, eating your stressful day away, girl, it's going to be hard. So what I like to practice with my clients is really getting deep into the mindset of how we view food. If we have a really poor relationship with food and view it as good and bad, and that guilt sets in when we eat bad food, it usually just spirals into a binge or overeating, and you feel more like a failure. And eating your feelings, eating that failure away, is just self-sabotage mode 101. But I digress. The mindset side is a whole other beast, and if you want me to do a full video on that, let me know in the comments, comment mindset, and I can make that for you. Just let me know that you want it. I hope you've learned some things about fat loss for the summer, and if you have, please consider hitting the subscribe button and liking the video so I know you want to see more of these. And until next time, my friends, my cool cats and kittens, stay safe, stay healthy.